It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Superhero Slate. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about everything that's great. Like movies, TV, superheroes. It's Superhero Slate. Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris.
And my name is Superfan Jim.
Oh, see, I was saving it for you. Jim. That's what I was doing it for.
Well, that case here.
There it is. Okay, yeah. Jim asked me beforehand if I was going to open a can on my name, and I said yes, and then I was going to throw him off and do it on his name, but I know he had a drink as well. So thank you, Jim, for putting up with my shenanigans on today's episode. This week, Spider-Man's brand new day sets brand new records. We'll talk about what that means here at the. This pretty much most of the show is gonna be Spider-Man. If I'm gonna be Batman here, Firefly is returning as an animated series. Jim, were you a Firefly guy?
Yes, very much so.
Good, because I was not. So you're gonna be my expert on today's episode. I was called out last week for saying that someone died who didn't die, so you can correct me on that later. Marvel adds new release dates and removes some. So we got that new updated unknown untitled calendar list here. It will not be on the website until we actually get titles, but we'll talk about that and more. So as people may figure out, Jim stepping in today, guest host. Thank you, Jim, for being here. Mike is under the weather. So Jim was able to step in for me after texting him very early this morning. So thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I actually, so we don't have any notes here, but you have been sending a lot of texts lately about comic books, buying collections, not individual books, like trades or omnibuses, stuff like that. And a lot of people who listen to the show probably may know what that is, but can you give people an understanding of what that means, what they are, and why you're doing that? Because I think that's pretty relevant to you and what you're doing, but also the show as a whole, since we do cover a lot of things based on comic books, even if it's just titles.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, an omnibus, like your normal trade paperback or a hardcover, usually collects maybe 10 to 12 issues. An omnibus can collect up to 50 and usually has an entire run on it. So an example that I'm looking at right now, I have the Flashpoint omnibus, which it's not only the Flashpoint story, but it's every Flashpoint comic that DC put out at the time. So it's any side stories that Flashpoint touched, they collected it into one big book. So you can read the entire thing in one go instead of having to worry about like, well, I missed this issue of Batman, so I don't know what's going on because of that. Mm-hmm. So it's one complete run of a story or one like artist or writer's run in a comic. So right now, I'm trying to go through and get all of the 90s Spider-Man because that's where I cut my teeth for comic books. So as I told you guys, I finally got the McFarlane, and I think his name is Michelini. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I finally got that omnibus, which is, as I refer to it, one of my whales or grails or whatever you want to call it. But I've got that. I've got Eric Larson with Michelini. I've got Marc Bagley. There's a volume 2 out there that's for some reason went out of print when volume 1 still has plenty of copies available. So that's my next one I'm trying to chip away at. So yeah, it's been a new passion or hobby that I've recently got into. And the other cool thing is I'm doing all of this, at least I know some people enjoy the thrill of the deal. I'm also kind of that way. And I can get some of this past my wife because I can say, this book goes for $100 on Amazon. I just got it for $30 from somewhere else.
Nice.
So, yeah. So I've been buying them at steeply discounted prices. I don't think I've paid full price for a book yet. So
that's good.
It's been fun.
Yeah, don't get caught up in that. We talked about it earlier. I mean, like it's one of those situations where similar to Jim saying my retro games is, the hunt's where it is. I could buy things off eBay all day long. I could buy things off Amazon, but it's like, I like finding it. I like the hunt as well as the deal, but like the hunt is, that surprise factor. So that's pretty awesome. I don't know if you said it or not. I'm conflating our text messages in here. What's your next big hunt? What are you looking for there?
Well, I got the Bagley and Michelini Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2. Um, and then the other big one I am looking for right now, they're not hard to find. It's just, well, I guess if I continue with Spider-Man, the Brand New Day to team up with the movie is out there. Amazon's running a deal on it right now. I'm on the fence about it. But the other big one, because I'm a Superman fan, they've made the Triangle era Superman from the 90s into a couple books. And that's another one where it collects all of the issues. So it's Action Comics, Superman, Man of Steel, all of
Awesome.
that in one book. So you get the entire, like, from A to B to C plot line through all of it.
Okay. That's awesome.
And those are fairly cheap. I'm just trying to figure out, do I want to bite and get those right now, or maybe wait and go after some of these other ones that might be a little more rare?
Do you think I know you mentioned Spider-Man and we have Spider-Man in the news city. Do you think that might become a little more harder to get or higher price due to relevance? Like I see some of these prices go up because of just the name alone, not necessarily the content.
Exactly. And that's the other thing too, is I know that the omnibus of the story that the new movie is going to be, but like you said, because it's the name, it's recognizable, people might be going after it. The other crazy thing, not to get too deep into the weeds here, an interesting fact I found out is Marvel is really bad at keeping things in a run. So, okay, what I mean is, like, they might print 100,000 of a book, and then after that's gone, they don't reprint it.
Yeah, they don't revisit that stuff.
They might come back, as I've learned, it's like on a 6 to 10 year rotation.
Yeah. That comes and goes. I think DC, for people who may not know, the Watchmen, I forget the guy's name who wrote that, Alan Moore. He was supposed to get the rights back to that after they stopped printing it, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna keep releasing trades so we will keep the rights in perpetuity." So like they like really fucked over Alan Moore. And that's why he hates the comic book industry. But right. Like, you know, they're like, DC does reprint a lot of those so they can keep, I guess, the self rights a little longer on some of that stuff, which is that. And I'm not saying Marvel's doing anything any better, but like I do understand the thing, because I collected Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four runs. They did them in hardcover and softcover. So I was half soft, half hard, pun intended, folks. But I finally was able to get all the hard covers and get a nice collector set of everything. So absolutely awesome that way.
That's actually kind of what I cut my teeth on, or what started this whole new hobby. I was on Facebook Marketplace, and a guy was selling his Hickman Avengers Volume 1 and 2 for $120 total. And Avengers 1 is so out of print that to find it online by itself is usually around $200, if not more. So I had to bite on that immediately. And then once I got on that, I somehow went down a rabbit hole on Reddit and a couple other places and started discovering that there's a whole community out there that does this.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. Yeah, I got to thank you guys for the Hickman advice from the beginning, because if it wasn't for that, I would have slept on it.
Yeah. So, well, we occasionally get something right here. Not gonna say it's always right, but definitely great.
Well, good. Yeah. Other than that, that's the big thing I've been doing. And then I've gotten into a trading site too. So you know, so an example is, I just traded my Frank Miller Daredevil hardcover. I read it. I got it for $40 at a Comic-Con. It's not. It's Frank Miller. It's Daredevil. It's great. Don't get me wrong, but it's not one I'm going to go back and read over and over.
Yeah.
So I traded it straight up for a new omnibus of the Immortal Hulk, which is about twice the size of the Daredevil one, and Yeah, it's a new story that I wanted to read, and I'm a big Hulk fan, so I thought that was a good trade.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And honestly, Frank Miller's in our notes in here as well. I mean, that's pretty on point, Jim. So let's go ahead and jump into not our first topic, but like just it's relevant for us who grew up watching Walker Texas Ranger and action movies of the 80s. But we have to sadly announce the passing of Chuck Norris. I believe he was like 85 or more.
85, 86. Something
Yeah.
like that,
Guy he was in Hawaii. He's been doing hiking. He's been very active guy. I mean, he also remember the Bowflex. I remember the Bowflex commercials like nothing else as well.
No, it was the Total Gym.
Or Total Gym. Yeah. So one of those two, but like anyway, like, a legend in and of itself, meme worthy for the past 20 years. And absolutely, good innings to make it to 86. But like, still sad to see some of your heroes kind of go out. Right. Do you have any favorites that you can think of?
No, the Chuck Norris facts.
Yeah.
When I worked in an office, I had 2 posters of those up in my cubicle. But I think my favorite one is a venomous snake once bit Chuck Norris, and after 3 days of agonizing pain, the snake died.
The snake died. Yeah. You sent me. Was it you who sent me the Marvel scene from Infinity War with Thor and Star-Lord today? Was that
you? Maybe.
Yeah, where it's where God thinks he's in charge, but it's really Chuck Norris. So where he's Thor. So
Norris is, of course.
But yeah, so sad passing him, but obviously lots of good things to remember. But I honestly, not any offense, but he hasn't been anything recently. I think maybe some Expendables, like 3 or something like that. But
yeah,
like
2 or 3.
Hadn't really thought about him for a minute, but like I said, good innings for him. Moving on, first topic there, Firefly. So last week, Nathan Fillion was going around to all the cast members from Firefly and getting them riled up. I thought honestly, Jim, that it was going to, and I'm sorry if I call you Mike, that's just habit on the show.
No, it's okay.
Jim, that I thought it was going to be like, oh, we're doing a 4K Blu-ray release of the show, like season 1 or something like that. I thought it was going to be like a retro release, because they even went up to Alan Tudyk was one of the first people, and I know he died in Serenity. Is that correct for that? Okay, great.
Yes.
I was incorrect. The Baldwin brother, he did not die in the movie.
No, and he's not a Baldwin brother either.
Or not Baldwin. What is his name? He's just a Baldwin.
His name's Baldwin, but he's not one of the brothers.
Yeah. So either way, Baldwin relation somehow. It's all nepotism. Okay. But anyway, so instead of a new release, they did say that they're going to an animated series, and it's set after the live action season is one season, but before the Serenity movie. Marc Guggenheim, who we know from everything from Arrow through the DC stuff, all of it, and his wife / partner Tara Butters, who's worked on Agent Carter and Reaper, are the showrunners. So that's got some really good, credentials behind it. Obviously I'll bring back Alan Tudyk, Gina Torres, Jewel Staite, Morena Baccarin, Sean Maher, and Summer Glau. I don't know how to pronounce her name. And a new actor will be enlisted to voice Shepard Book after Ron Glass passed away in 2016. The big question in my mind is Joss Whedon involved in this? And well, he is not involved, but he has quote unquote given the blessing for this to continue. So he has definitely been in some trouble in the Hollywood stuff, and he's not really a big part of this. Now, Jim, as someone who is a Firefly Serenity person, what's your take on an animated series here?
Well, kind of like what you said earlier, I was afraid that this big announcement was going to be like they were going to do an official Firefly con or something like that. But the idea of a animated series, kind of like what Mike says, you can put all of your money on screen that way because you can do anything you want in animation.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of fits all of their busy schedules. You go into a booth and record for a day or two, and you could have a whole season's worth of content that way. I
would say it's a little longer than that. I don't want to undersell the voice recording, but it requires less production. It's a different schedule. Obviously, Nathan Fillion is on his propaganda show right now. Alan Tudyk is doing everything. Everybody else is kind of, I don't know the other schedules, but how do you get this many people together? And obviously you can't de-age them to pre-Serenity.
yeah.
So I think this is. I'm sad they didn't show off any of the animation yet. It was just kind of a couple drawings, if you will. But I don't know. I don't know anything else about that. But it sounds like people are happy with it.
Oh yeah, a friend of mine's a big Firefly fan. He's happy. He's the one that got me into it. And but we were joking around that what if it's Firefly the next generation?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's going to be a new crew with these guys kind of in the background. I'm glad they went this way. I think animation's come a long way especially for adult projects. The big one I can point to right now is Invincible.
Yeah. We got another one up in the show as well to talk about.
Oh yeah, exactly. So no, I think this is a very, very good compromise for fans. Like you said, the cast has aged quite a bit, and no, I think this is the best thing for everybody all around.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Firefly season 1, was that like 2004? 2002, goddamn, 24 years. So
yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, so by the time this works out, this may be a 25th anniversary release. You think next year?
They would probably, yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, since they didn't show anything, I assume they're just kind of starting on it and maybe getting some hype behind it. So, yeah, it's definitely got some work on it. No complaints here. Like, this is good for the fans. And I'm glad they were able to find a way to bring some people back for it. Things that don't seem to want to end, Jim. Fast Forever. It is the 11th Fast and Furious movie, not including there was an animated show I think on Netflix that had a couple seasons and some other stuff. But writer Michael Lesslie, who wrote Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which I will refer to as Now You Three Me going forward. The new Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping, or whatever the newest two are, not the original 3/4, and had even worked briefly or been in talks to work on the X-Men script with Marvel, has been tapped by Vin Diesel personally to pen this Fast Forever script. And he's also rewriting a script, so I don't know how much this will be kept written by Aaron Rabin and Zach Dean. I don't know what they did or how much they've done, but it sounds like this threat of this being the last movie actually might come to fruition at the end of the day.
I'll admit I didn't watch X.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard a car went into space, I said I'm out.
Oh, that's actually probably the most believable part of most of that film. So that's that one. They say jump the shark, but this series jumped the shark a while ago. What's beyond jumping a shark?
Man.
Like the end of the 10 ends on a cliffhanger, by the way, in case people don't know. And
I didn't know that. Yeah.
And this came out. I'm gonna have to Google it. You guys are making me do work here on today's show. Fast 10 2023. So by the time this comes out, like 27, 20, I think it's 28, right? It'll have been 5 years of this cliffhanger with Jason Momoa, Vin Diesel, Alan Ritchson, right, himself, that's Reacher. Right. So like, there's tons of great names in this, but boy, they really made it seem like they had a plan going into it, and they didn't. So I'm interested to see if they pick up with the cliffhanger. Is there a time passes and we learn what happened kind of thing? We know The Rock and old Vinny have buried the hatchet, it seems, and look to be possibly coming back together in the same thing. I don't know. I will say I am intrigued. There is a less than 0% chance that they will absolutely bring back Brian from the dead, not dead in the movies, but dead in real life. What's his name? Right. Paul Walker. So I'm interested to see what they do with this and if it actually goes out. This seems like a project, a franchise that is maybe, you let it sit for 10 years, but imagine a Fast and Furious like reboot, in 2035. Like what does that look like then? Because we always joke about and talk about on the show, the first movie they were stealing VCRs. TVs with VCRs was the first movie, and how far have we come?
Right.
Cars in space, according to you. So Can we get back to the racing, the street racing, or will this just kind of keep going bombastically? But I don't know. The threat seems real at this point, Jim.
Now, I've got to admit, 5, 6, and 7 are some guilty pleasure movies.
Fast 5 is a good. I'll tell you right now, if people who jumped off of this after 2 or 3, Fast 5 is actually a really enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
6, yes, probably 7. That's where it wavers a little bit for me, but I agree with you. Those are still three things. Because I watched them all when this came out, 2023, 2022. I watched them all in order, and you can feel the ebb and flow of this, but Fast 5 is absolutely enjoyable. Agreed, wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Those are the only ones I have on physical media on my shelf. Well, I have Hobbs and Shaw as well. That's another guilty pleasure one. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh man, that movie," but I'm like, make me all the popcorn and I will sit down and watch it.
Yeah. Did Hobbs and Shaw have a popcorn bucket that you would absolutely need to have to eat with it, or is that just
Nope, I think that was before the
craze,
popcorn bucket craze.
Yeah. I forgot about Hobbs and Shaw, to be completely honest, because that's The Rock and Jason Statham, right? Which I mean, with Idris Elba as the villain, obviously, macho men love that mix up. So, we'll see where this goes and see maybe if they do more spinoffs or something. But we'll keep you posted here on the show. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are reaching their 300th issue at IDW. Coming up here later this year, and they've gotten Frank Miller, Daredevil artist and writer himself, to draw a special cover of the Turtles in the Frank Miller style here, and I see the Daredevil inspiration in this. Like, I see the teeth and like the way the muscles kind of line up a little bit, the blockiness of it. So this feels like something that might have been in the 90s, but I absolutely love just knowing Frank Miller is bringing his ninja sensibilities back for this one-off cover for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I like how he draws their feet.
Yeah,
kind of a different take.
His feet, the feet and hands are very much rectangular. Everything's so rectangular in here.
Right,
it's surprising. Like, Raphael kind of looks like a Canadian from South Park a little bit. Like at the top of his head and the bottom are different things. Very much the muscular, because turtles aren't hairy, so they're very muscular, and like the details is gritty. It's fun. Frank Miller, obviously, he's up there in age, right? Let me see here. Frank Miller, he is 69 years old. He's up there. I saw him at San Diego Comic-Con when we went in 2019. He was walking out of a restaurant as we were walking by, and you never stop. I don't want to bother people at dinner, so I didn't stop, but it was always like a thing. I'll remember just seeing him standing there in his little hat. So you can check out that in our show notes if anyone wants to look at that. Are you a Turtles fan, Jim?
A little bit.
Not sure the comics. It could be Turtles have. I always think of the video game and the cartoon, but
right, yeah. I grew up with the original cartoon, and then the movies, the first, especially the first 2 movies, are standouts in my mind. But because of that, I did end up again hunting down the deal. Are you familiar with Humble Bundle?
Oh yeah, absolutely. More probably so for the video games, but I do know they do comic books and other things as well.
Yeah, they do a lot of book specials and stuff too. So I got the first 20 IDW collections. I don't know how many comics that is, but I got that entire run for $18 plus the Last Ronin.
Yeah.
So it's digital, but to just sit and read it, I thought that was a good price for a lot of content. So I jumped on it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's definitely solid all around. I was trying to think. It wasn't IDW. There was another publisher for Turtles comic books. And it was one of the first comic books I ever had, and it wasn't IDW. Was it who does Archie? Was it just Archie Comics?
I think it's just Archie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, Archie Comics. Archie Comics did its own Turtles from 88 to 95. Mirage
wow.
Studios was the original. So there was a thing where the turtles go to space and they have to put on costumes for this planet that does like wrestling. And there's like it's essentially a hound dog that looks like a Machamp Pokemon because he's got two arms and he's like walks around and he was something hound. And like they had to wrestle all these people in this comic book, and it was like one of like 3 comic books like that. And the Thor Corps. Don't know if you remember the 3 Thors that had to put their hammers together to summon Thor. So essentially, rip off of Captain Planet, but Thor. And it was such a weird comic book that I forgot it even exists. But I play a lot of the video games. I love the Turtles video games, the original '89 arcade, the more recent Shredder's Revenge. So I grew up with the cartoon. So absolutely agree with you. Love it. And this is fun for IDW to bring back a popular artist. Moving on, Sonic 4. I made Jim watch this teaser right beforehand. They've announced filming underway and some new cast announcements. They have a little teaser. Showing off Chaos Emeralds. I don't know if you're familiar with Sonic at all, Jim, from the games, but the Chaos Emeralds are huge. They've also added some new cast, including Richard Ayoade and Matt Berry, both in the IT crowd. I didn't know that, Jim. Okay, I just want to say, but most people know Matt Berry from What We Do in the Shadows TV show. You brought up, he also did the voiceover at the Academy Awards last week. He's definitely got an iconic voice and look about him. Richard Ayoade, other than IT crowd, he does some other stuff too. But IT crowd is definitely one of my favorite shows with both of them in there.
Oh, same here. Love that show.
Yeah, so that definitely got. He's also going to be in the upcoming Fable game as a giant.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when the new Fable, he's a giant. You can watch the trailer. He voices him and looks like him and everything. So there's that.
I'll have to go find it.
We also confirmed Kristen Bell is voicing Amy Rose, but Ben Kingsley, Nick Offerman have officially joined. I think they were rumored, but now they are officially in there, as well as returning stars Ben Schwartz, Jim Carrey, who hates Hollywood but will come back for every Sonic movie thrown at him. I think he just loves doing it. With that, Idris Elba, Keanu Reeves, James Marsden, Tika Sumpter, Colleen O'Shaughnessy. I don't know how to pronounce her name. She voices Tails, and Lee Majdoub. I love Sonic. It's a guilty pleasure. This is like one of those things like we always talk about on the show, Jim. You know this, where they bullied them, the guys who made enough the studio that they had to redo the CGI with from Ugly Sonic. So I'm glad this is picking off to the point where like, yeah, we bullied them enough, but hey, guess what? That work paid off. They got 4 movies and a TV series out of this.
And I'll admit I've seen 1 and 2. I haven't watched 3 or the Knuckles TV series, but from the people that I know that have, they say all of them are very good. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I agree. I've had a great time with this. Again, I'm really surprised they even gave him a show at the end of the day with Knuckles. So glad they're doing 4, and we'll keep you guys posted as this probably hits. I think there's a release date. It's probably next year, but we'll come back to that as we get closer. You mentioned adult-themed animated shows at the top show from comic books. Powers. The animated series of Brian Michael Bendis' comic series is coming to Netflix. So they are taking this book, Powers, which is still its 25th anniversary and has like a new limited run for its 25th. They're still telling the story. That I don't know if you remember, it was a PlayStation Network live action show with the guy from District 9.
Sharlto Copley?
Yes.
However you say his name? Sharlto? Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember it was kind of weird. It was kind of adultish. He was playing the main guy. The synopsis, obviously, this comic's been around forever. Combining the tropes of the superhero genre with the police procedural genre, Powers follows 2 Chicago homicide detectives, Christian Walker and Dina Pilgrim, who work in cases solving superpowers. The big catch here is Christian Walker used to have powers and lost them. I don't know if they've ever uncovered why or how, but this seems to. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I watched enough of the show that, at least in the live action show, it was hinted at or something that the main bad guy was the one that took him.
Yeah,
it was Eddie Izzard, the comedian. But I didn't watch it enough to even figure out if at the end of the season he got him back or anything.
Yeah, this
Like
is
you
one
said,
of.
it was really weird, so I kind of gave up on it.
Yeah, it also like PlayStation Network was a weird thing you had to subscribe to. Watch it only on PlayStation. Like it wasn't like so when everyone was trying streaming services for a little bit there. I think it went to somewhere else on that second season, or if not, it died because it was on PlayStation Network, and they're not a TV studio. But this is coming to Netflix and it's animated, so the Invincible in its season 4, which is debuted last week, so I think the first 3 episodes are out of season 4, and just more animations coming to light. This is not a surprise that they would pick this up and try to run with it again. So we'll keep you guys posted. Maybe we'll get some footage or something later. I'm guessing again probably next year before they get to it along the way.
Yeah, there'll be something to watch for.
Yeah. Daredevil Born Again this week. Season 2 is this week on Disney Plus. I think it's weekly, right? That's how it was last time?
Yeah.
So definitely good for that. The Born Again official podcast also released, I think maybe all the episodes or something. I've linked the YouTube version here below. They bring everybody in, including like Brad Winderbaum, the president of Marvel Television. They got the actors Charlie Cox and who plays Wilson Fisk, Kingpin.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio. A lot of people are on the show. Like there's several episodes, so you can check it out, listen to it, watch it. But the other thing is, I didn't link him here, but I did see this throughout the week that Finn Jones and Elodie Young played Iron Fist and Elektra respectively in the Netflix version of these are doing quote unquote training photos like in the gym. And so they're filming season 3, so I would not be surprised at all, Jim, if season 3 gives the longtime fans what they want. Whether you want Finn Jones or not, you're going to get the Defenders again in the MCU before they end this and reboot it or something. But it feels like there's a push to not necessarily wrap it up, but like, hey, this is working. Let's keep it working. I think Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are both going to C2E2 this week, this coming weekend.
Ooh. Nice.
Yeah. I got my photo, Charlie Cox, 2 years ago. Lovely guy. Like I said, I think his favorite burger was In-N-Out. I think when I asked him what his favorite burger was, I have to go back and listen to that show. Yeah. Because people always ask him, what's it like being Daredevil? I'm like, no, what's your favorite food, man? Tell me your secrets. I want to know what's it like to be you. Right. When when you're hungry, but you don't want to, go somewhere else. But
especially like a British guy in America, what American food do you like?
Yeah, I didn't even ask him. I thought he could have told me anything. I guess that he wanted to. Like it could have been British, and I wouldn't have known any different. I just wanted to know what he likes. Maybe I can get my hands on it. Give it a try. They got those boxes that can insulate food, right? Get that overnighted from the UK. At least it wasn't fish and chips.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Is there a good American version
of fish and chips?
Yeah, other than Long John Silver's.
Long John Silver's. Well, I'm biased because the original Long John Silver's and their corporate headquarters is within an hour of me, so obviously there's that. But I don't know.
Go there when I visited?
No. I mean, honestly. We didn't even get to go to Buc-ee's, did we? That's another miss. So,
no, yeah, I got that. Well, no, I take that back. I made it to Buc-ee's before I visited you last night.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. What were we gonna say? You said,
just that he was in Des Moines last year, and I ended up missing him because of, I think it was my daughter's orientation day at college. So. I mean, I hate to say it, but my daughter's a little more important than Charlie Cox. But
it's okay. You can be wrong.
It hurt. I'll tell you that much. But,
it was fun to see him. I mean, so like I said, I got my photo with him. I didn't even order the photo till like the day of for me. I was just like a whim, and absolutely had a great time with it with him. So I'm glad he's come back for Born Again season 2. But yeah, that starts this week. I think it's the 24th, so Tuesday, probably Tuesday night. So I'll be able to pick that up, and so we'll probably try to cover it at the end of the season. I don't think there's anything we don't talk about weekly on the show unless it's like, oh my god, this was mind blowing and changes the course of everything else, but I don't think this TV show will do that
No,
too hard. Let's talk about Marvel Studios. They removed some dates and added new ones to the release calendar post Secret Wars. So for those who like visualizing things, I've included in our notes. Half of our notes is just these dates, if it looks like it. So we're going to go with July 31st is Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is owned by Sony. I want people to know that Sony handles distribution. They pick the days. So that is technically not a Marvel day. But I wanted to include it in there because that is our next Marvel project that we know of. December 18th is Avengers Doomsday. A year later, nothing in between, December 17th, Avengers Secret Wars. So those are the three things we know of right now, right? The three actual property names.
Right.
Also on the calendar, they already had May 5th, 2028 and December 15th, 2028. Those were already on the calendar. No questions. Those have not changed. However, they've added new ones. Jim sees them in the notes. I can't hide it from him. But July 28th, 2028, May 4th, 2029, and July 13th, 2029. So we have a May, July, December of 2028 and a May and July of 2029. So that gives us 5 untitled Marvel releases at this time that are coming. And we'll talk about what they could be. However, those who have great memory, not me, I didn't know these. They had actually already had a February and November of 2028 on the calendar. They've nixed those. So they're only doing May, July, December. And they're nixing February and November of that year. So they've moved some stuff around to hit the summer, early summer, late summer, and winter for that. Now, here's where I wrote down some ideas for what these movies might be. Of these, 2 of them are new. The rest are all sequels, because I think that's not saying that it's the wrong answer, but if you look at Disney's output lately, Disney, Pixar, even a lot of them are just properties that have performed well. They're not really trying a lot of new things. Now, I'll tell you what, Hoppers did great. I mean, that's Pixar. That's a new property. They're doing great with that. But like, we also know Toy Story 5. We know Incredibles 3. We also know Monsters 3, Inc. University 3 is coming. But for this, Jim, I wrote down the ones I go through here, and you just tell me. I'll say the title. You tell me a yay or nay. You think it's going to be one of these 5 movies? Okay.
Okay.
Black Panther 3.
Yay.
Okay. They've talked about this quite a bit. We know Ryan Coogler's working on it.
Right.
I think that's a pretty solid work. Doctor Strange 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's time they wrap that up. Not anything against Benedict Cumberbatch, but it's been 10 years since his first movie. They've only done 2. I think it's time to give him something to either transition or, give him a nice little circle on the what was the Baron Mordo? The Mordo storyline would be great to wrap up.
Oh yeah,
from that.
Mm-hmm.
Thunderbolts 2.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's
solid.
Depends on what they do with them in the Avengers movies.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's fair. This could evolve into something else. Maybe post Avengers, it is not Thunderbolts, but like maybe it's Secret Avengers or like just another Avengers movie, because technically they're, they have like at the end of Thunderbolts, they said, Sam Wilson is suing them over the Thunderbolt or the Avengers or something. I don't know. I think they're just going to merge them all together. I don't think we need multiple teams, right? So this might be an Avengers movie. Fantastic Four 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic Four second steps. No, I'm kidding. But they will probably be merged into one timeline at the end of Secret Wars. So I would love to see how they come to live in the MCU, or what maybe they add things like, Reed Richards and the whole team was really smart in their universe. I would love to see what they can do to the MCU post Tony Stark's technology, right?
Right. Yeah.
With that. X-Men.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a given. No question there. Blade or Midnight Suns. One of the supernatural films. I combine these as one.
Okay, I'm of 2 minds.
Okay.
I absolutely want that, but will they do it? I don't know.
Yeah. I think
Their track record with that stuff is kind of not great.
Yeah, I do think they have delved into the supernatural a little bit with obviously Werewolf by Night. Huge success. I do think some of the Doctor Strange stuff could lean into this. Maybe Doctor Strange 3 is the Midnight Suns movie. Maybe they combine those together.
Cool.
Magic and supernatural kind of tying together. Blade has been on the burner for about 7 years now. Will we get it? I don't know. But I do think that would maybe be an introduction point, is in Doctor Strange 3 or Midnight Suns. Good call. Deadpool 4.
I want to say yes.
Yeah. I feel like the money is there. Deadpool and Wolverine did great numbers. They're a great team up. I'd love to see what they do after Secret Wars together, right? Like I don't think their story's done at the end of that movie. I think it kind of they need, if they're gonna wrap it, do it. But like this could be, again, like we talked about the X-Force. Like maybe we get a couple, like Thunderbolts is kind of an Avengers movie, but like a Deadpool, Wolverine, X-Force is kind of an X-Men movie. So I think it has proven R-rated stuff does work for Marvel when done properly and with the right people at the helm. So I think I said, are there any that I didn't think of when I was jotting these down? I feel like
I didn't know if there'd be possibly another Spider-Man.
Well,
yes, I know that's Sony. But
these would not be Spider-Man dates. These dates would not belong to that.
Okay.
I do believe that locking these down like this means that they could have a 4-year, like a 2-year, maybe 3-year, maybe 2029 is a Spider-Man movie. For that 3-year window between films, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe 2029 they could fit it in there. And maybe that's why they don't have a back end of the year movie announced. But that's a fair point. What else? Who do you want to see come into Marvel? Or we've not seen in a minute.
The other big one that again, it depends on what they do with them in the Avengers movies, but there could possibly be another Thor.
Yeah, that's true. Shang-Chi. I forgot about Shang-Chi.
Yeah, Shang-Chi as well. You're right.
Yeah, could be good. Now, could they absolutely team up some of these, like Doctor Strange 3 being Midnight Suns and Blade? Absolutely. Shang-Chi could, be a team up with somebody else. Thor could be a team up. They talked about Star-Lord returning, right? Maybe Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not Guardians, but Star-Lord could be in there. I hate to focus so much on existing properties, but like I feel like some of them just aren't done yet, and maybe they introduce some new characters into those movies, right? Like obviously X-Men's gonna have a bunch of, but like putting Blade and Doctor Strange 3 is there. Like Fantastic Four 2, who's the villain for Fantastic Four 2? Like is there an opportunity for them to, not necessarily a Silver Surfer, but like, is that Nova? Like, is there a Nova in that movie, right? Because they historically done that stuff.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if maybe one of those might not be another cosmic movie.
Yeah, I was hoping Annihilation comes. Like we talked about Annihilation on the show quite a bit. I was really hoping we get to a point where we could kind of do some of that stuff or use it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It like I said, it just all depends on what roles. See, I was under the impression, and maybe this is just my own naive, wishful thinking, that after Secret Wars, they were going to do a soft reboot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a soft reboot, but I think a lot of the stuff will carry over. We'll just see, like Doctor Strange 3, maybe not be like I don't know, maybe Dark Dimensions, but maybe not multiversal. Like Black Panther 3 is, maybe a Shuri handoff to a new Black Panther, right? Like I could see that one continuing. Right. So I do think they could, but I think it'll be more of a, I don't know, back to like the phase 1 where everything's more like, oh, there's a lot less going on, but not multiverses, not stuff like that, but like space. Like again, I think again, have you read your Hickman book yet, or are you just looking at it?
I've read volume 1.
Okay, so volume 1 they deal with the ex nihilo and the I don't think you've gotten to Infinity yet, but the
Thanos showed up with the
Black Order.
The Black Order, yeah.
Okay, but like there are these again, I think the idea that there are people out there from space like trying to come and conquer planets. They could be coming to Earth. That could be a Fantastic Four thing. They love to do space there. If not, no big deal. But I think like an Earth invasion from something that's not like the what's it called, the Chitauri would be, or the Skrulls would be interesting, right? We don't need the Kree and Skrulls and Chitauri, but like, oh my gosh, like the Annihilation wave, like from Annihilation, is absolutely terrifying, because it's mostly just bugs looking creatures like eating their way through the universe. So yeah, I'd love to see some of that stuff. But if anyone else who's listening has ideas that we haven't thought of, send them to us, because I want to know. Jim wants to know.
So I'll put my 1,000 to 1 odds movie that I would like to see out there. And that's the Henry Cavill Wolverine movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't know if they've ever run with a cameo before as a whole movie, but you know.
Oh no, we need it.
Yeah. I know you need it. That's where we're gonna draw the line with that one. For those who don't know, Jim single-handedly keeping the Snyderverse alive on the internet. He spends his free time running all those bots for Zack Snyder to bring back Henry Cavill's Superman.
I would say I'm an apologist, but I'm not a zealot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll give you that. Yeah, I think all these great. I would love, honestly, it sounds like a Planet Hulk movie.
Yeah.
I think the idea of the Hulk coming, he's got a son now. That story's kind of set up. I want to see Hulk. Smart Hulk's fine. Friendly Hulk's fine. I want to see Raging Angry Hulk. Like we might be getting that in Spider-Man, but like I would love to go back to the again, not necessarily the status quo, but like where Hulk is not necessarily neutered, but you know what I'm saying? Like he's just like, oh, he's smart now, or he's not dangerous. He's strong, right? But he's using his brain. I'm like, no, give us some actual like team members who are like wild cards. I need some chaos up in this.
Exactly. I know I say this about every time a new Marvel movie comes out that the Hulk's in, but I go back to Onslaught series that he begged Jean Grey to take Banner's mind off the Hulk so the Hulk could be unleashed upon Onslaught.
Yeah.
I want to see that moment in a movie.
Yeah.
I want it to be impactful, and I want it to be for a reason. For everyone to stand up and cheer.
I mean, I think Planet Hulk would be an Avengers level movie, simply because he would have all the Avengers, or like the lead, like they were the Illuminati in the comic books, but all like the current Avengers fighting each other in like an arena style. Like that would have to like absolutely change the Earth for a long time. But there is one person who defeated the Hulk in that comic book. Do you remember who defeated the Hulk at the end of Planet Hulk?
Is it Beta Ray Bill?
No. If I was to ask you this question, Jim, this is a personal question. Who beat the Hulk?
Oh, Sentry.
And we have a Sentry. We have the chess pieces. They are on the board. Let's put them in play and make the Avengers fight each other at the Hulk's whim. Or maybe like a Maestro Hulk. Maybe like he comes from the future, back in time. It's a Maestro version. That's a lot of multiverses, though. Never mind. Scratch that. We're tired of multiverses. Let's actually get some consequences that matter up in this bitch.
Exactly.
So, all right.
No.
Anything else?
No, I was just gonna say I agree with that. So,
yeah, we've delayed this long enough. Let's get into Spider-Man Brand New Day. The trailer has landed. It swung in on Wednesday morning. My birthday was Tuesday. I knew this was coming because they were teasing it Tuesday. So it was a great delayed birthday present. We got our teaser trailer. The link is in the show notes. Everyone has probably watched this. I got to mute it because it will play in my ear while I'm watching it. But this has the biggest trailer launch of all time in 24 hours, staggering 718.6 million views. Dethroned Grand Theft Auto 6. I think it beat Spider-Man No Way Home in the first 8 hours alone. So this is just 24 hours. Like this is not even like right now I'm on it's like 24 million on YouTube. And I mean they're totaling all the views across every platform, not just YouTube, but like absolutely wild for this to do so well on the first day. This shows you how universal and reaching Spider-Man is, Jim. Like this is not a one-time character. This is a $1 billion man in a suit franchise.
Right.
With it. Also, yeah, we can talk about all the notes, but I will tell you the first thing I want to know. I told everyone this, and it's this is not necessarily a hard take. It's an interesting thing to look at. This movie has a striking visual difference at like than other Spider-Man movies. there is a feels like an HDR saturation kind of turned up a little bit on some of this. Not all of it. Spider-Man, obviously, when it starts, he's on the metal beam above the city. He's bright red and blue. There are scenes with the tank and Frank later on that are regular, but like there are some very HDR-y, gritty, gray, contrasty scenes in this, and I love that it looks different. This kind of brings in the tone that this Spider-Man. He's been 4 years now of just being Spider-Man more than Peter Parker. He's near his friends. His ex-girlfriend now has a new boyfriend played by Amonis Fati, who is he's in Ahsoka. What's his name? Ahsoka, the Jedi they found in Ahsoka.
Oh, that's him. I didn't realize that was the same. Yeah, that's oh man, my friend's gonna punch me for this.
Yeah, it's fine. It happens. Welcome to the show. When everyone tells me what do you remember, this is why, because you're on the spot. Ezra Bridger.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
So he's there. This is like one of the biggest Easter egg trailers I've ever seen for nerds and non-nerds alike. We get Zendaya. We get the briefest of glimpses at Sadie Sink, not even her face. Mark Ruffalo's here with the new Hulk control device, not even Smart Hulk. Frank Castle, the Punisher. Hell, I'm pretty sure, I'm 90% sure the voiceover is Keith David himself talking about the death, life, and rebirth of spiders. There's a transformation. I'm going to say it looks like he's getting organic webbing. Jim, this is everything I'd want in a Spider-Man movie. Like all the rumors that we've heard for the past few years, I'm like, nah, none of that's true. It feels like every rumor is true in this goddamn movie. And
right.
I will say there are some scenes that are slow motion comic book shots that look like they are maybe things he's like a flashback sequence, things he's done in the past 4 years. He's fought Tarantula, he's fought the Hand, he's fought Boomerang. Like those ones that are like slow motion stuff. I think those are like showing what he's been up to in the past years, and it's not really scenes in the film, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I kind of wondered the same thing.
Yeah, the city looks like they love him, but go ahead. This is you tell me what you thought here.
That shot that recreates the Amazing Fantasy 15 cover, I thought was really
that's the swinging one for people who don't.
Yeah,
for non-nerds.
The criminal under one arm.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great touch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, if you gotta find Boomerang, that's a comic cover recreation. The Tarantula, it's not really a spider dude; it's just called Tarantula. That's another thing in there. The Hand, when Peter catches the sword and breaks it with his webbing, that's a really cool shot as well, showing how strong Spider-Man is. He is unmasked though, so I'm interested to see why. It looks like he's getting sick and he's evolving. I essentially chalk this up to like this feels like a version of the Amazing Animated Spider-Man TV show, but season 2, like where he starts growing extra like spider hands, like body horror style.
Where he becomes the man spider.
Yeah, it feels like he's gonna become the man spider and then obviously be reborn. He's got organic webbing. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's organic webbing, which is it was originally in Spider-Man 1, the movie. Then that was picked up in a, was it Straczynski did that one? Where he gained the organic webbing.
Yeah, because that was what I was going to talk about was, what if, because people are saying Keith David might be.
Jackal.
Yeah, Keith David.
Jackal?
Is
it Jackal? Jackal. Is it Jackal? Sorry.
It wasn't right the first time. Anyways, I almost wonder if he's Moreland.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't fit like a Moreland. It doesn't sound like it either. But I mean, again, I don't know. I can go either way. But like, I think, to me, I've heard from scoopers, and this isn't necessarily fact that Jackal is in this. Jackal, he does the cloning of Spider-Man. We've seen some clone. Maybe he's doing some genetic testing. We don't know. There's a lot of things going on here. Scorpion is in a suit. I'll tell you that right now. How about that? We got him in his Scorpion mechanical suit. Who's giving him the suit? We don't know who the antagonist is. And I think that's something that, obviously this is a teaser, not the full trailer. So I think we'll get some of that later. But I am surprised they didn't give that to us. Like, we don't know who the actual villain is in this, right?
Right.
Is Sadie Sink playing Jean Grey? Sounds like if there's smoke, there's fire kind of situation. It seems to be someone was being mind controlled in the tank, and then one of the SWAT teams, and then someone above them. So it looks like there's some mind controlling going on. Is that
together? But yeah, you're right.
Is that Jean Grey? We don't know. The Department of Damage Control's here. Tillman, what's the actor from Severance? Trammell Tillman. He's his character is named Bill, which we think is like a William person who's like the head of Department of Damage Control. It's not his voiceover either. There was a leaked version in December. This trailer is very similar to that, but there's some differences. I did hear that leaked trailer caused like some like last minute, like, oh, you only get half your weekends. Like there's a lot more time. They had to update a bunch of stuff. So like when people are like, oh, leaked trailers don't do anything, they actually do in the workload of stuff, ironically.
Right.
But I'm just going to listen to all this stuff, Jim. I think the whole thing to say is I really enjoyed this trailer. It's got me hyped for Spider-Man again.
Yep.
It's weird to see him down on his luck, but that's what Peter Parker does. I want to see him at his best. I will say, controversial opinion here, I do not agree. I do not care for organic web shooters. And the reason being, some of my favorite comic books and video games of Spider-Man are when he has web canisters and he's low on web fluid, so he can't. How does he get out of there? How does he use his intelligence when he's low on web rather than just relying on the webbing as like something he always has in an unlimited amount of?
Unless they change it to where, like, you know, he can only produce so much in any given time.
I don't trust him enough to do that.
Regular spider can run out of webbing.
Yeah, I don't trust him enough to do that, if I'm going to be honest, based on everything else I've seen. But like, you know, I'm not knocking it. It's just one of those situations where I'm like, well, I mean, obviously I would love to, I would love for it to be right, but I don't know if we're going to get that at the end of the day. You know, with what's going on. So I mean, maybe they do, maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I don't know. I mean, I'm excited. What do you think? What's your take here? Give me your full rundown. We got a couple minutes.
Sure. I was going to say the one thing I wanted to note was I really like the shot of at the beginning when he's diving.
Oh yes.
And they go like inside of his mask, and you can see his eye on the other side of the mask eye.
Mm-hmm. And the city's reflecting in it as well as he's kind of falling.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool touch. And it's different than the typical Iron Man shot where you see the HUD over his face, which that's cool too. Don't get me wrong, but so I just thought that was a neat perspective to see inside Spider-Man's mask when normally we don't get to. The other thing I was wondering while you were talking was, so if you look, it looks like he fights the Hand in a prison. Like all the doors have like bars on them and stuff.
Well, yeah, one of them. There's the other shot where he's jumping towards them that people think they've edited people out of. Kind of like how they did No Way Home, but there is the prison. The fight scene looks like the prison. The other one looks like something they've been doing with.
So, this is my comic nerd wondering. So we've got Daredevil Born Again going on. What if at the end of the season he actually does get arrested and put in prison, and Spider-Man's trying to like defend him from these guys or break him out?
Who, the Punisher?
No, Daredevil.
Oh, Daredevil.
Matt Murdock.
Oh, I don't think Daredevil's in this. Not that much.
Because the Zardarsky run, or however you say it, he was in prison for a while.
Zdarsky. He was. I don't think this. Again, do you listen to how many characters are already listed off? I don't think Daredevil has room for anything. I think if anything, he would be in the scene, and they've edited him out of the original scene, that one I talked about, where it looks like they're fighting the Hand in slow motion.
Oh, yeah.
Because number one, Daredevil has a history with the Hand, but also be like, oh, in the past 4 years, I've been teaming up with other street level heroes. That's why he knows the Punisher. He calls him Frank by his first name.
Oh, right.
So I think that's more likely than the prison scene. The prison scene looks like they edit it to make it look like his eyes go spider black in that scene, but I don't think it's the same scene. I think it's just an edit.
Gotcha.
But he does have his mask off in that, so I wish it was that connected, and I wish they could get Charlie Cox for more than that. But I don't think he's in there for that one. I think season 2 will be out. I don't know. Prove me wrong. He was in No Way Home at the beginning, right?
Right.
He caught the brick. He's a really good lawyer.
I didn't know if that'd be a fun way to bring it around.
Yeah,
Um,
I've got no qualms with it. I just think there's so many people in here. I don't want to. When do you have time for the actual movie? Right. That's what
right.
it sounds like. So
So, but other than that, no, I'm like you. This completely got me hyped up. No complaint against the other Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, but it's nice to see him kind of stripped down to just the pure essence of what Spider-Man is. He doesn't have the fancy suit or anything like that. It's just
yeah,
him against the world. Um,
yeah.
what a okay. So this is kind of what an empathy question. So your friends forget who you are. Do you constantly hang around, like, they're in orbit around them to kind of observe them, or do you just try to walk away from them completely? Because that almost feels like he's punishing himself more than
Yeah,
anything.
well, Spider-Man always does that. Like again, Aunt May passed away in the last one,
Yeah,
right? He has nobody. He's there's a shot where he's up against a washing machine. Being Spider-Man doesn't pay. He has no money. Who knows what his day job is. He does
right,
have the key to the city, which is great. So I think the public like him. He's working with some of the SWAT team members. He may even be working with the Department of Damage Control, right? Like they may be like, look, you're not a threat. We understand this. Help us out. But yeah, I think he could be like, is it like an inherent sense of like, I give up being Peter Parker to become Spider-Man full time, and being Spider-Man means I protect the people I care about, even if they don't know me. Is
right.
that
Yeah,
so? Maybe he's just watching over them, for no real reason other than the fact he has nobody else and doesn't maybe know how to meet other people.
right. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
Um,
Um,
do you think the Hulk will remember who Spider-Man is? Because that was something they did in the comic books, where like Bruce Banner doesn't know Spider-Man is Peter Parker, but like the Hulk remembered because he wasn't there at the time.
oh, right.
Uh,
Um, Again, that could be an interesting concept.
yeah, it'd be definitely a little fun little Easter egg if the Hulk does come out. I think the Hulk has to come out. We saw him on some of that merchandise, and they showed
Right.
2 shots of Bruce Banner. So, but
Yeah.
Doctor Miles Warren was also someone who had expertise in genetic experimentation. That's if he maybe that's how the Jackal gets involved, is because of his mutation. Like if he's
Could
turning
be.
into a human spider.
I just hope it's not going to end up being that this Spider-Man is actually a clone.
Oh, I don't think this one is.
I hope not. I was just thinking of that.
They did
I
the
hope they
first
don't go that
person
route.
shot of him crawling out of the web, like that web, like his evolution, his web nest cocoon or whatever it is.
Yep.
So I don't think it's a clone. I think maybe they could make a clone later on, like the next movie is. Depends on how there is it Brand New Day, like what is it like, whatever the title could be. But I think they could start it now. I don't think they have enough time to tell this story with everybody in it and make a clone out of them too.
Right. No, I just
So
hope at the end they weren't like, "Oh, by the way, you're not Peter Parker," and then the
yeah.
movie ends.
If anything, at the end they just say, "Here's a new and improved Peter Parker," and they call him Ben Riley or whatever. Like
Right.
they could do that, but like, yeah, don't pull the rug out from us. I don't know. Feels good. Feels good to be back. I think this has an opportunity to be one of the biggest movies of this year, and I'm glad we're able to be a part of it, and it'll be a good way to end the summer and get us in that final sprint before Doomsday, right?
Yeah.
Where everything's gonna change up. Anything else before we wrap up the show, Jim?
Um. No, not really. If anyone has any omnibus deals or wants advice, they could reach out to me. But
No?
other than that, no.
Nice. Well, then in that case, that's a great thing. How can people reach out to you? How can they get a hold of you if they want to know more about omnibuses and comic book collections?
I'm usually HF, like Harrison Ford 605 on all social media and even video games. Um, yeah, I don't have pickled comics or anything like that.
That's
so
all
you
right.
can't find me there.
That's all
But
right. Yeah, that's not everybody has all the stuff going on, and that's okay
right.
with that.
So nope, yep. Just hit me up at HF 605. I'm on just pretty much every platform. So
Okay,
yeah,
awesome. Well, then in that case, people know how to find me at Valdan, Valdan, on Instagram, or video games of the same name. If people want to know more about the show, where they can get all these episodes, and all them goodies, these links we talked about here, Jim, do you know where people can go get that stuff?
Right. You can always visit superheroslate.com. It's got everything on there, the timeline for the movies, the show notes, all the links to everything we've talked about today. You can also find us on Apple Podcast, YouTube, and Spotify, and anywhere else you get your
Fine podcast is what Mike says.
yeah, there you go, podcast to tickle your eardrums.
Yes. What about swag? You got swag? I got Superhero Slate swag. Where do you get that at?
Yes, you can get that at the website as well.
It's at the bottom of the notes, superheroslate.com/store. Or
I didn't scroll down far enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. I have everything in here. He's going off memory though. You're doing really well. You actually named off most of the stuff without looking at the actual notes in the show notes.
So yeah, you can get your Superhero Slate shirts, stickers, whatever you want for Superhero Slate at the website superheroslate.com/store.
Awesome. And Jim, you're a super fan. If people want to become super fans, how do they become a super fan?
You share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy, and you will be entered into the dynamic world of super fandom.
That's right. Yeah, super fans, they know each other. They can tell them a mile away. And maybe one day you genetically evolve to become a fan human, like, instead of a man spider, it's a man fan,
right?
And you become a super fan. But either way, yeah, if people become a super fan, and then we'll be back every week with new episodes. And Jim, thank you again, and we'll be back next week.
All right, thank you for having me.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.